All right, people, trying a new mic setup today, so let's see how we go. Might have to just adjust this lighting a bit. Bit cold. Bit cold here today, but not too bad. Let me just fix this lighting a little bit. It's a bit bright there, isn't it? Let me get that. Change the colour maybe. Yeah, that one. All right. Might just see if the other light's better. All right, how's that? That's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah, a little better. But I don't know what's happened with the screen there. Maybe it's I did change lighting and stuff a little bit, so I might have fucked it up a little bit. Sorry. Let me turn this one off. Maybe that's the one that looks at. Oh, look at that. That's better, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. Hello. There you go. All right, people. I've got some updates. We've got the update on the Thai situation, which I spoke about the other day there. Let me just monitor this. Yeah, that looks good. Just looking at the mic setup, looks like it's working well. Let me know if it's too loud or anything. It might be. I might just knock it back a tiny little bit. There we go. Just so it doesn't peak out too much. Yeah, it looks better. I'm not peeking out now. Not peeking out now, man. All right, so anyway, yeah, the other day we spoke about the Thai updates, and I've got myself some notes set up again for what's changed over there. But as I was saying the other day, basically they're going to start enforcing what was always the case in that it was always medical cannabis that was made legal over there. And then there's been a bit of a grey area for the past 3 years, which is why if you went there, you would have seen street vendors and vending machines. You just, it exploded. It went crazy. I mean, it is Thailand. They are one of the original, the bong makers, if you like. So they do. It basically just awakened, what was already there within Thailand, I suppose, and it's not going to take it away now. But they have to play by the rules, which was always the case. And like I said in the previous video, plenty of those already over there were actually set up to play by the rules because they knew that this would be, or didn't know, I suppose. It may not have put it, but it was pretty certain that this was going to happen at some point, regardless of the coalition split. But that definitely helped speed it up for them over there. So yeah, the public health minister has now published that in the Royal Gazette on the day after, I think it was, that I did that on the 26th is when they published it. And it's prescription only cannabis order. That means your new rules, like I said in the last video, your new rules are now in effect. And there's basically you have to have a doctor in your dispensary if you didn't already, and you have to have a medical certificate, or some kind of medical, whatever they're doing over there, your medical permission to use and buy. So the same pretty much as what Australia is now. So what's changed overnight? Basically that you need the Thai doctor prescription there. That's been now come into effect, which was not really, like I say, it hasn't changed. It was always there, but it's now being brought into effect and said that you now need to have a doctor's prescription to legally buy or possess the cannabis in Thailand. Again, well, like here, sorry, not again. It's all new for them, wasn't it? Cannabis has always been there, like it is everywhere in the world. It's always there. It doesn't matter what the laws are. There is still cannabis there. You'll find it anywhere you go in the world. Which is why all this, the fact that keep these silly restrictions on it, well, treat it like heroin or something, is absolutely fucking ridiculous. you know, not that heroin should be restricted either. And I'm not saying anyone should go try heroin. I've never tried it, never would. Well, opiates and stuff, I suppose. But the point is, what I'm making is that, you know, prohibition doesn't really work for anything. But I'm not an advocate to say that everything should be legalized and accessed easily, because I don't think it should be. But everything should be. It shouldn't be so restricted. It should be more about the information, because I think most people will make those informed or the right decisions, you know, or smarter, informed decisions with the right information available. So yeah, doctor's prescription, all your recreational sales are now gone. Well, you know, officially they've gone. Vending machines and online shopping has also been banned. So it might, you know, I do believe before you could actually do like Uber Eats kind of stuff over there, which was pretty cool. I didn't. I like to go to the dispensaries when I was there. I was exploring. So yeah, they're all banned. And advertising cannabis products is illegal too. So that was something else that they was. I didn't see it on TV, but they certainly were promoting it around the place, you know. So I'm guessing if they're handing out flyers or something like that now, they're going to have a problem. I got the Wake and Bake mug this morning too. We're going to load it up in a sec. Yeah, so still in Thailand at the moment. We'll go through this, and then I've got some updates for what's been going on here at home in Australia. My grinder, here we are. Thailand's Department of Thai Traditional and Alternative Medicine rolled out the Porthor 33 form, a standardised script for doctors to prescribe cannabis. It defines which symptoms qualify, so there's no more grey area. So we need to find that form, which I haven't done actually. I didn't do that. I actually did this late last night. It's set up here for the script, so some of it I haven't got to, but that's, you know, I am going to edit this video out and doing some clips from the live feeds that we do too. So the important parts are outside of the getting baked parts, having a talking shit. Alternative medicine, yeah, so I'll look up that form in a minute too and see if I can find it in the background. Yeah, so let's see what we can find there, because we want to know what the symptoms are. So basically, you're going to have to fill out one of these forms, I guess, when you go to Thailand next time, in order to be able to access their legal cannabis. Let me see if I can get it happening in the background. Oops, I've almost spilled my coffee everywhere. All right. Thailand's new prescription rules, no symptom, no. Okay, here we go. No symptom list. What's this? Nice one. Let's just go with this one. It looks good. Oh, hold on. No, let's go back to this one. This one looks like it might be a bit more accurate. All right, I'll load that up in the background. We'll come back to that. There he is, old mate. Prescription form to admit 15 medical symptoms after concerns of overlapping authority among, professional groups. Fucking iron vitamins repeating on me. Vitamin B. Thailand's Department of Thai Traditional and Alternative Medicine has confirmed that the new cannabis prescription form, known as Porthor 33, will proceed without the previously listed 15 medical symptoms, following concerns about overlapping authority among professional groups. Okay. Director General of the Department said yesterday, June 30, that the decisions aim to allow each of the 7 recognised professionals to define which symptoms or conditions fall within their clinical guidelines. So this is where it gets messy, see? He signed the formal announcement and expects it to be published in the Royal Gazette soon. So that was on the... this one, hold on. It's an update coming again. Okay. This is an update coming again because this was 5 minutes ago, apparently. Last updated 5 minutes ago, the article I'm actually reading. The recognised professions are as follows: physicians, dentists, pharmacists, Thai traditional doctors, applied Thai traditional doctors, Chinese medicine practitioner, sorry, Chinese medicine practitioners, folk healers specialising in herbal medicine. Okay. So all these guys can prescribe you medical cannabis, I believe, in Thailand. Is this right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Each prescription must include the practitioner's license number and detailed patient information, including name, age, nationality, ID, blah, blah. And dosage. So same as what you have here with the medical cannabis program, which is capped at 30-day supply. Exactly the same. In fact, I'd say they even looked at Australia's before they brought this into effect. Australia is actually trying to set the model for controlled cannabis, in the fact that, you know, they don't, recreational cannabis doesn't fit anywhere in the world really, because with recreational cannabis you can't be tracked on what you're having, and this is where it comes with the medical cannabis. So medical cannabis means that they can track everything you have, they know what people are having, they know what you want, and this is what governments do. They want to know everything about what you do and what you have and what you want. Not always malicious, but, you know, I mean, probably I wouldn't even say it is malicious ever, really. I mean, things are often used for the wrong reasons, I guess. But the reasons governments, I guess, want to track all this and want to know this is because that's important data to keep the system running. You know what I mean? You got to know what people want and what they, you know, why give them things that they don't want, and stuff like that, I guess. You know, I get the idea of controlling and wanting to know everything. It's not always as dark as people might think, you know. I'm sure it gets used for wrong reasons, but the fact is that governments track and monitor everything is because it's trying to keep things organised, and it's a system. They're trying to keep a system, you know. So it makes sense, but at the same time, of course, it can be used for ill means here and there by particular groups or people. That's always going to happen. Always has happened through history. Yeah, like everything, there's a double-edged sword to everything, unfortunately, including governments. Yeah. So, for now, only 2 professions, medical doctors under the. Okay, hold on. Let me reread this. Director General said yesterday, June 30, that this decision aims to allow each of the 7 recognised professions to define which symptoms or conditions fall within their. Okay. So those ones I just mentioned, they all get to. Okay, this is getting silly. So they basically say, well, that condition we take care of, you know, so you can't hand that over to the medical cannabis prescribers, I think is what they're saying here. Let me get down here. Maybe I need to have my wake and bake. I haven't had it yet, so that's fucking me up. For now, only 2 professions, medical doctors under the Medical Council and Thai traditional doctor. But you know what? I'll share the screen just in case. In case I'm fucking up and not reading it right. Where is it? This one. There. Oh, look at that. It comes up pretty perfect too, doesn't it? For now, only 2 professions, medical doctors under the Cannabis Council, and yeah, okay, there we are. Was that where? That's where I was at. Sorry. Have official guidelines in place and can begin prescribing cannabis. In modern medicine, 4 conditions are recognised for cannabis prescriptions. Okay, so same as everywhere in the world, I suppose. It seems to be epilepsy, nausea, vomiting caused by cancer treatment, which we all know. Neuropathic pain and muscle spasticity, so not related. Under Thai traditional medicine, 8 conditions are permitted. Let me just fix this up. I'm having a bit of trouble here. Such as nausea, headache, loss of appetite, and pain associated with cancer. So I suffer from migraines, which is one of the reasons I get it. So I'd say that's what I'd be doing on my form when I next go to Thailand. All right. Oops, I fucked that up now. Shops must continue to comply with monthly reporting requirements with the 427, another form, 4427, or for, can't, I don't always pronounce the P actually, they don't. It's more of a B, I believe. To report the source of cannabis buds and, oh, where'd I go? There we go. And pour another form to track monthly sales forms. The new 33 form will document prescription details, including the prescribed tracking. It's the tracking information. Like I say, it's not necessarily malicious, but they want to know. This is what governments want to know them, and group they want to know what you're doing. Patient diagnosis, well, they don't like cash either because they want to know what you're doing. But it's people that, like people complain about a cashless society, but you all run around using your cards instead of your cash. So, which is limited to a 30-day supply per issuance. Issuance. So yeah, you're basically the same as here. 30 days is your prescription, and I don't know what the amounts are. I guess that's you'd have to. I guess that I don't know. It might say on the form. Be interesting to know. I will try and find out. I haven't had a chance to get a hold of my mate again since this happened, so I'll find out later on today. Try and get a hold of him when Thailand wakes up. Well, they're waking up now, aren't they? All right, let me load up this wake and bake. But I've actually loaded up 2 of these mugs. Oh, sorry, put coffee in 2 of them because I've got the 2. The one's this black one, which is probably a good mug, but the other one's more the original Wake and Bake Coffee Co. one. All right. Now this is just for fun. I wouldn't recommend these. They're not practical. They're just for fun. I'm loading them up. Yeah. I missed my shoddy or something. No. Oh, there is one. Thought there was a hole somewhere. Fuck, that was making it hard. Oh, the fucking dry pipe. Oh, it's like a hashy. Been a while since I had a hashy. Like an old school hashy pipe. Where's my fucking anti-Nazi ashtray? Let's get that out of there. Because if I suck that, that'll fucking go flying back. I can see it already. In fact, it did. So yeah, like I say, I wouldn't recommend the Wake and Bake mugs because they're not practical at all. They're just for fun. They're an ornamental, really, but you can use them. I'm still going to use the other. Yeah. Oh, that got me. All right. We're going to sip of that and see where we're at, including the prescriptions information. That's about the track and everything. Some rook added, that the draft ministerial regulation under the Act on Protection and Promotion of Thai Traditional Medicine Wisdom is undergoing public consultation with feedback due by July 12th. Okay, so in another week, they'll know more over there. But basically, this is all you really need to know, I suppose, in what's happening, because you now need to you can't just jump on, you can't smoke a joint at the fucking airport like I did when I got there. Was leaving, unless you have that prescription. But even then, I'd say that, even though I smoked in the right spot, you got to smoke where smokers smoke and stuff like that. That may be different now, I don't know. I got asked to move on when I was smoking a joint at the airport, which is, and just because I was in the wrong spot and I didn't realise that was all. I did think I'd broken the law for a moment though. But they were just like, oh, cheers. What's this? However, practitioners do charge. Okay, here we go. Here you go. This is where you're going to get gouged, isn't it? Especially as a farang. So if you go over there farang, you're going to get gouged for sure. We are farang. Everywhere you go in Asia, we have a nickname. As in Thailand, it's farang. I can't remember this. They all call it something, and it's not whilst to most of them it's not a negative thing, it is actually a negative thing. But they don't say it with malice, a lot of them, but it is actually negative, the terms that they use for us. In the same way that, if we stood here and called an Asian a gook or something, then calling us farang is actually the same thing, but it's not. Like, it's lost that meaning. It's the same as it would have here, really, unless you're using it in malice. Depends how it's used, doesn't it? If it's used in malice, then you're being racist, and if it's not used in malice, well, then it's just a term, I suppose. Because farang is very popular over there. Chinese call us white devil or some shit. I can't remember what their fucking word is. Ghost, actually, ghost. They call us ghost. I can't remember what the word is for it. But yeah, off topic, but yeah, farang. So as a farang, you're probably going to get gouged. So you're going to get, what is it? However, here we are. You can see here, I'll highlight it so you can see that as well. However, if practitioners do charge during this transitional period, the fee should not exceed 50 to 100 baht. So it's kind of the same here, and they're trying to do, they're saying, do these kind of free consultation things. Yeah, no cost. Yeah, so he definitely has looked at the Australian model, I would say. It's probably spoken to some of the people involved with it here. I know some of the people involved with it here do speak with, these people over there, because they're involved with business over there. Reports of fees as high as 500 baht are considered unethical and may violate professional standards. 500 baht. Yeah, it's a bit fucking steep, and it's higher than you'll pay for anything here. It's worth mentioning, like on the because most of your consultations are free anyway. Okay, what's this? Yeah, amid widespread public misconceptions in regard to the new cannabis laws, initially on June 26th, the health minister issued an order prohibiting recreational cannabis usage. Shortly after, a 60 to 90 day hold on all changes was announced before the latest clarification on prescription procedures. More information. So basically, it looks like it's kind of backflipped a bit. Issued an order prohibiting recreational cannabis usage, introducing prescriptions for retail purchases. Yeah. Shortly after. So they've done that with the announcement on the Gazette and everything, and then shortly after, because like I say, this article was 5 minutes old, or 10 minutes now, whatever. 60 to 90 day hold on all regulatory changes was announced before this latest clarification on prescription procedures. Okay. So it looks like it's actually on hold again here at the moment, and there's your form. I would say they actually do have English forms, but not too sure on that, because I do know that when we were there looking at some of the forms, it was actually, there is only Thai forms. A lot of it they don't. You will have to get someone to help you do the forms. And that's the article we're reading, so let's just click on it again. Yeah, that's definitely it. Okay. So there you go. That's your updates for Thailand, pretty much. Or now it looks like it's actually changed again since I looked at it yesterday. Which was, and it all changed the day after my last video. So okay, here we are. Let me see anyway. What else we got? So there's no more grey area, but apparently there is. So the grey area does remain, according to that article. It does remain now, because we're like I say, that's an article from today, and it's saying that it's on hold now. The changes are now on hold. I mean, it's not too surprising, I suppose, considering the upset it would have created to have that all happen overnight, I guess. Not that they would have swept through, but well, I'd say it would be unlikely they'd sweep through. But I'd say if they're gonna, when they start enforcing this, and give it a month or two, and they will. I'd say that, because that seems to be how they do it in Thailand, and they will basically lock down in certain areas that they are out of control, and as it were, and they'll sweep through and do their enforcement and clean up. They do it for other things, like for example, if you've been to Thailand, you may not be aware that vapes, like here, vapes, same as if you came to Australia, you may not be aware that the vapes are illegal, because they're everywhere, same as here. You can buy them on the street. Well, not here on the street so much, but you can certainly buy them straight off the street here, anywhere in it, pretty much any tobacconist can. And you can also I just noticed some program is slowing me down, but I don't think that's an issue. In Thailand you can buy them anywhere as well, and they're available on the street side. And that's, vapes are actually illegal. So, but every now and again they will sweep through and close that gap. Let's go back to full screen. There we go. Even though the prescription rules are active now, but now they're not. So even though the prescription rules are coming into effect at some point, well, this gives us a date, but I guess maybe that's why it's maybe they've, okay, so maybe the prescription rules are no longer according to that article anyway, they're not in effect just yet. But I would say they're probably more in line with this, because even though the prescription rules are active, or were active, not active now, at the time of writing this they were, dispensaries and growers have until November the 11th of this year to get their paperwork sorted. After that, non-compliant businesses face shutdowns or fines. So this is what's coming. I'm going to roll a joint. I don't want to load that one again. Whoops, where'd I go? Shit. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong fucking button. I didn't even know I had a hotkey set up there like that. Oh, it's done it again. Keep going on the wrong screen. There we go. Sorry about that. Fucking edit that out later. Okay, so yeah, well, we don't know now, I suppose. I'm gonna weigh in with my contact over there later on today to find out exactly what's going on. But because my next one was about tourism again, so foreign tourists now need a Thai issue prescription, but I don't think you do just yet, according to that article. Last night I would have said yes, you do, but having seen that article now, I don't know. According to it, you don't now. believe that's what it said. You could see it too, so make your own choice. Traveling with or buying cannabis without, one, you risk fines, deportation, or even jail, which you don't want to be in a Thai jail. Don't want to be in any jail, really, but fuck, you don't want to be in a Thai jail. You don't want to be in any international jail, for fuck's sake, never alone one back here. You know. But obviously that's, I mean, you just have to ask at the airport if you're unsure, you find the information place and ask. The Thai people are generally more than helpful, in my experience, you know. Even if they don't agree with the cannabis, I'm sure you'll find that they'd be more than helpful in telling you what you had to do or where to go. Or maybe they just walk off and you don't know. Okay. So, okay, we were saying over 6,000 dispensaries the other day. So now, here's a new figure for you. Over 11,000 dispensaries across Thailand. I reckon there's over 11,000 dispensaries across Thailand. And since, you know, it was 6,000, more than 6,000 the other day. So it's more of a solid figure, I guess, since, I mean, they should be able to have a solid figure because they've all registered. And yeah, I mean, many may close if they can't align with the new licensing requirements. So this is where I do actually, I do worry about the little guys in this one, because obviously this is where it's going to hurt the little guys. So like the younger guys, you know, those crew that I saw out west, or not west, west here, but it was actually east, I suppose. But in the country Thailand there, the crew that I saw out there with their little setup, which was not, you know, and some of the nicest part. It's called now apple fritter, I think it was. I have to start putting up some of those videos. I find them so I can actually chuck them up in the corner here and there. In fact, I'll see if I can find it in the background in a minute. But yeah, those guys are the ones who are going to suffer when it comes to this, because I imagine, you know, they weren't a big, massive operation. They were young guys sort of doing something. They had a little bit of a shed set up. Going, you know, small operation, not the kind of operation where, you know, unless one of them's a doctor or got some kind of certificate in the profession's allowed to prescribe it, I think they're fucked. You know, issues, or that unless they're able to pay off, I guess they're fucked. Yeah, that's what's going to happen there. But you know, you'd prefer that they didn't have to do any kind of shady grey area stuff. And but like I say, the problem with the recreational is, I suppose, they don't know how to track it properly, and they can't track it properly. Or, yeah, they can't really, I mean, unless everyone was buying, you know, this is why if everyone used cards, I suppose, instead of cash, they may be less likely to do this kind of stuff, I guess, because they'd be tracking it through that means. But, you know, talking shit. Get this rolled up. I've actually gone back to the filter tips again, like the rolly, you know, paper tips. For now, I got sick of those cotton ones from Raw. Assuming they're authentic too, because I still haven't checked that. I'm pretty sure they are. Just trying to remember where I actually got those ones. If it was from one of the shops that do sell the fake shit, I don't think so, because I don't go into them. Once I find out they got the fake shit, I try to avoid them for anything. Well, you know, can't trust them, is how I see it. They can't be trusted. They're selling fake shit, they can't be trusted. If they're selling fake shit and telling you it's fake, different story. They're selling it cheaper, but if they're selling fake shit, I guess some of them may not know too, is the other thing, to be fair. They may not know that they've been sold fake product, but still, you know. That's better. All right. So depending on that latest article that we just read there, because like I say, that was 10, 15 minutes ago. It's actually changed the whole thing I had lined up when I think about it, but we'll go ahead because I don't think it's changed it by too much. So again, like those guys, if you know, they're the kind of ones who are going to have the problem because they're not likely to be able to afford a to have a doctor on site unless unless they're lucky, and to keep a doctor on site too, especially in the country ones. I mean, it's not those guys were not like they're not like a city operation where they have people going in and out. They're off in the fucking beaten track somewhere. I mean, what it was a highway road, but it was a kind of road where you didn't have a lot of traffic. Like there's still traffic, but you know what I mean, it's not. They were not getting rich from it. Put it that way. They were just enjoying themselves and making business. So those guys are definitely going to have problems, but hopefully that the way Thailand is, and they have a certain level of tolerance there. They do actually. It's more for your locals, of course, but it's a respect. There is a respect and tolerance thing. I think it must be part of the Buddhist nature, maybe, I don't know. But if you respect the Thai culture and respect them, as you should anywhere you go in the world, and generally they'll be more tolerant of you as well, but within reason. I wouldn't be pushing anything in certain places, that's for sure. So yeah, you might expect a wave of closures by the end of the year in regards to those kind of guys, unfortunately. But some of those ones, I mean, in those country areas, one or two of those, not those, the one, I'll find that video in a second. Those guys were really good and they had a great little shop going there. Other ones I went to were dodgy as fuck, and I would never walk back in that place. One place I walked into, it looked like, I don't know, the bloke had been stabbed in the eye, he was missing an eye, and the other bloke at the back was dodgy as fuck. I don't know, there was more than just the weed going on there. But you don't go back to those joints. Walk in, walk out. I think most of them are the kratom joints, actually. If you see kratom advertised everywhere, in my experience, I'd stick away from those ones. I believe kratom's used traditionally for helping people get off opiates or something. Can't remember, I'll have to look it up and maybe we'll have a chat about it. It's something like that. It's for some reason, I think it's more of an opiate style thing, something. But it's also become quite popular over there. Or always has been, I believe. I've never tried it. Maybe I will one day, but I don't really have any interest. Like I say, the places I walked into actually turned me off it anyway, because all the ones that were doing had that available. They're just dodgy, mate. Fucking dodgy. It was completely different to walking into your dispensaries, your proper dispensaries that were over there. It's just a full dodgy feel about those ones for some reason. The government's okay. This completes Thailand's rapid pivot. Maybe. Because they've kind of backflipped again. Well, they've stalled it at the moment, probably because of the chaos it might have already caused over there. So it turns it back from being the Amsterdam of Asia, which it was. It was very much the Amsterdam of Asia. Anyone who went there, I think everyone fell in love with it, to be honest, and everyone was over there. You had all your big players over, and I know all your fucking rappers and things are over there trying to get their weed into the market too. Basically anyone who had weed available for export was trying to get it into Thailand as well, or set up and grow in Thailand. And it's because it was the Amsterdam of Asia, and better in a way. Not taking anything away from Amsterdam. Okay, so it's strictly medical only model. Back to a strictly medical. So it's the kind of thing that the ACT will actually be watching as well. It's be interesting to see how the ACT reacts. I mean, the way Thailand's moving here is definitely in line with our model as well. So they've been having a good old chat with someone down here, and that's that for Thailand pretty much. So we'll see what happens anyway, because like I say, it's changed just today, changed this morning. So see what happens over the next few hours, and I suppose in the next couple of days. But everything's, again, let me just go back there. I just want to see the end of that article again. It does say shortly after a 60 to 90 day hold, which does put it in line with that November sort of date, doesn't it? On all regulatory changes was announced before this latest clarification on prescription procedures. More information is yet to come as Thailand's cannabis laws are to be finalised. So stay tuned, because that one's not over yet. We'll see. All right, let me go back to here. So yeah, back home, just going over, just sort of seeing, any important changes that have been happening. New South Wales, what have we got? We got a recommendation for the decriminalisation of personal cannabis use. The report exposes how those with means can legally access medicinal cannabis while others face harsh penalties. Yeah, okay, so basically they're saying, the tries to whatever the report has basically come to the conclusion that medical cannabis is great and all, it allows people to access medical cannabis legally, but then there's this huge area, as we will know, which is a massive area of people who are still recreational, or those who may have been not able to access it medicinally for various reasons. I do know one or two people that weren't able to. I don't know why. I don't think they were able to provide, didn't bother, providing all the information. Maybe they weren't comfortable. I don't know. So the committee suggests replacing jail time with fines, so decriminalisation model, which certainly would be better than jail time. It should I mean, there is the cautioning system already in New South Wales, I believe, so that, which is a form of decriminalisation. How's that work again? It's up to, I think it's up to an ounce for minors. I think as a minor, you can have up to an ounce to fall under the cautioning system, where they'll give you, take your weed and caution you. Take your weed and smoke it back at the station, I don't know. Or chuck it down the drain. Depends on the cop, I suppose. And caution you. Or take it and sell it to them, mate. Who the fuck knows? If you're over 16, I think it's, sorry, if you're over 18, I think you can only have half an ounce, up to half an ounce before you caution, which is kind of stupid, and it should be the other way around. I don't know if that's ever been, I do remember originally it was that's how it was, but I don't know if that's ever been changed. I doubt it, because most of those kind of laws and things, once they come into effect, don't get changed very quickly or easily, which is why we still have these stupid fucking anti-hydro laws that your fucking clowns up north helped fucking put into effect. Which, by the way, if you didn't realise, it's the same clowns behind the shit again, just under a different banner, because this is what they do all the time. Whether it's the, what was it, whether it's Normal Australia, Hemp Party, fucking, what was it, Free Cannabis Party, or whatever the fuck it was, Free Cannabis Community, fucking, or the Legalised Cannabis Australia, whatever the fuck it is now. It's the same people behind it every time. Hopefully they don't do the same fuck ups. I don't know, there's different people involved each time, so maybe the wankers who gave us the fucking anti-hydro laws and shit won't have as much fucking say in giving us more shit laws. Thanks, cunts. You see, they're also the people been pushing stuff like they actually pushed the idea that hydroponically grown cannabis causes schizophrenia and stuff. They're just as bad as the other one, mate. They're extremists. Well, obviously they're extremists. It's a single issue thing. Okay, so yeah, and I agree with this. They do need to decriminalise this and get rid of stupid laws like fucking anti-hydro laws. The committee suggests market better management. Blah, blah. Whoops, fucking done it again. So keep switching the wrong thing. I'll have to stop it from doing it. But it's good that I now know how to do that too. Okay, so drive. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that's been going on. A bit of driving reform in the spotlight. So yeah, that's the other thing too. They're also pretty much the Greens. Greens MLC Kate Farriman, whatever your name is, introduced the Road Transport Amendment, medicinal cannabis exemptions from offences Bill 2025. The bill aims to exempt unimpaired, legally prescribed medicinal cannabis users from drug driving charges, aligning cannabis with other Schedule 8 meds like opioids. This is good. Advocates say it's a critical step towards fairness for patients relying on medicinal cannabis for chronic pain and other conditions. Now, I believe this is good, but when I shared this previously on Facebook or something, I think it was on the Facebook Godstoners page a while ago, Andrew popped up, and I will speak to Andrew at some point and just get some more feedback on him about this latest update. To find out, yeah, like he basically was saying he thought it seemed like a lot of things. Looks good, but apparently probably wasn't. But I don't know if that's changed from, like, if this here has changed from the model he was talking about. Am I still on the right screen for going? Yep, good. I'll get used to that. Yeah, support for legalisation is on the rise in Australia, we know that. But it's actually up 15 points over the last decade, apparently, so 48% of that. I remember seeing figures of 48% or around that. How many? Last decade? Yeah, a decade ago. So I don't know. Sounds like it's the same fucking figures to me. Like how it's up. But again, maybe it is. Somewhere it's up, I suppose. Because that's the same figure I remember. It's almost half of Australians, basically, if not more, support legalisation. Younger generations, 18 to 35, are leading the shift. Well, it's the young that always do. I was 20-something when I started. It's 21, I think, when I started. No, younger. And now I just like talking shit and smoking a bit of weed. Are leading the shift with over 65% in favour. This growing support is reshaping the political conversation. I guess that is a big number, I suppose. Maybe that is more than what we had in favour of legalising. It probably is. I think about it, that's a good shift. So my generation, a lot of them, just because they were misinformed, and that even the ones who, use cannabis, some of them didn't agree with it being illegal. It just blew my fucking mind. They've since changed that opinion. The ones I still speak to. This growing support is reshaping the political conversation around cannabis, increasing pressure on leaders to move beyond medicinal-only frameworks. So we want to see full legalisation of recreational sales in Australia at some point. So the biggest problem I see, I reckon, and the government see with legalising cannabis is just what I was saying before, and that's tracking it. They want to track, not it so much, like they've got all this seed to sale kind of shit. They track product. They've been doing that in the States for, 20-something years. And since Colorado and everything went full wreck like they did, they've been tracking it even harder. But where it finishes, generally, is at the customer. the finishes at the dispensary. So and that's not enough for the governments. Like I say, they want to track you. They want to know what you're having, what your product is. That's what they want to know. So if they can track you on a recreational, like same with alcohol, really. I mean, they want to know how much alcohol you drink. Alcohol pisses them off, I reckon. Maybe the only reason they don't there is because half of them are pissheads and they don't really want that to be tracked themselves. That's probably more the point, isn't it? Yeah, so we're getting there with some, the push is on again. We'll see. The push is regularly on in Australia every 10 years or so. So let's see if it, and the last time we saw a big change, and hopefully this time we'll see more big changes come into effect. But like I say, their biggest concern is tracking it, which is why the medicals, that suits them. They're kind of happy with it. They're still not. It's not quite what they want, obviously, but it's giving them the data they want. I do have to confirm something on this, but I did get someone tell me the other day, and it may just have been conspiracy sort of theorists crap going on. I don't know, because the person who fed it to me, but they were saying that the I guess it's the TGA, because that's who you're registered for, I believe, with all the cannabis prescriptions here in Australia. Provides the list to the World Health Organization now, allegedly. So, like I say, I'm not sure on that, but I do want to check that. But it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is part of tracking and the data. This is what they want to know globally. Oh yeah, of course, got a bit of backflipping going on. So the Premier's already backflipping on these, being an advocate for legalisation. It's now sort of backflipping on that a little bit. And we'll see how that's nothing surprising there. They always fucking do that. So, no surprise. Many predict cannabis reform could become a major election issue if ignored. Well, I do think that is, but not so much either. I mean, the other reason, it's good that the the party cannabis mobs did get some good votes this time. But to be fair, from what I've seen, the only reason they got such high, got those votes is because most people I know just saw them on the ballot, and from most people I've spoken to, they really didn't know who to vote for and didn't care who to vote for in the last election. And when they see something about cannabis, they tick that. That's the truth of it, and that's what most of them told me anyway. When they had their first or second choice, maybe, but at the same time, it was like they really didn't have a first or second choice, really. And cannabis one may have even been put first. I don't know, fucking in their first, well, they may have had it as their first choice, you know what I mean? But this is, part of what happened, but that was a good thing, obviously, because it made a bit more light to the whole legalising cannabis issue, regardless of who's behind it, the party. As long as they don't bring in stupid fucking anti-hydro laws again, you dumb cunts. Okay, so yeah, typical government bullshit, but they backtrack on shit. Backflip. Yeah, we'll legalise cannabis. Oh, you voted? No, not interested now. You got your votes, don't care now. Eat cake. Some shit, I don't know. The momentum toward, what have we got here? Industry implications and new frontier. Oh yeah, this is still on the whole New South Wales idea of legalising and things, I guess. The momentum towards decriminalisation. So we do want at least decriminalisation. I mean, so we've already sort of got it anyway with it, but it would be good to have it there for growing and things like that, including indoor. You fucking clowns. Potential regulation signals and new chat. Indoor's safer anyway for this society. I mean, you worry about the kids. It's always the children. What about the children? Well, fucking keep it inside for a start. if you're worried about that. But you know, I want outdoors as well. But outdoors should be grown, you know, properly, I suppose. But it's natural, mate. It shouldn't be hidden. So it shouldn't be hidden out either way. It should just be education. If the reports, recommendations, progress, it could, I mean, you talk about things like trumpet flare and stuff, aren't you? Not many of us will go fucking touch trumpet flare in someone's garden because we all know. We've been taught, or maybe that, you know, some people don't, but you're taught that it's something you don't really want to mess around with. Education's the key, isn't it? Information. You don't have people dying all over the place from fucking Datura. Because people just aren't that stupid. If the report's recommendations progress, it could mean a pathway for, and to be honest, I mean, fucking Darwin's Award anyway, you know. Like if you, don't we need the idiots to thin out a bit anyway? So if you want to go, if you got all the information and you still go do that stupid shit and die, well, fucking good on the human race. Which is fucking a bonus. A pathway for licensed local cultivation. Yeah, okay, so obviously, you know, if we can legalise here in New South Wales or Australia and nationally, it'd be good. We've got medical cannabis nationally, it'd be good if we could get fucking, you know, rec nationally. So we could have the dispensaries and things like that. But looking at the way Thailand's going, I think, you know, or just gone, that it's, I think, you know, it's going to be a slower road here still, that's for sure. I guess if anywhere we're going to see it, it would probably, it's hard to say, isn't it? I'm going to say if anywhere you're going to see it first, you'd probably see it in the ACT, but you could be wrong. It might suddenly pop up in South Australia. I mean, where it was originally decriminalised, but, you know, I think South Australia's attitude's a bit funny nowadays. It's changed here and there because of the abuse, I guess, of the laws down there. This is the problem, and it's not done right, and it's not completely done. You have criminal elements come in and abuse those laws, and then it does fuck it for everyone, which is what's happened. We've seen that. So what happened is you had that happen in South Australia, and anyone in the know knows this, and you've seen those laws get abused, and then they got changed and pulled back. You know what I mean? They kept changing the laws to suit the abuse that was going on, and you know, getting around those laws for basically, you know, what were mostly organised criminal groups, not just you know, not just some people grow. They were organised crime. And no doubt it's still going on. Retail dispensaries and legal market that generates jobs and tax revenue, of course. Yeah, okay, so that's basically, it's, you know, talking about current dispensaries as well. But yeah, if they, I see what it's saying. Okay, so if they decriminalise, it's going to affect the medical market, is what they're saying, actually. And the jobs and tax revenue that it generates. So because of the medical cannabis being in effect already, you're actually very unlikely now to see a further step towards decriminalisation. Like, if anything, we'd see, well, if anything, it's going to go to full legalisation, because that creates more jobs and tax revenue. Decriminalisation is not going to create jobs and tax revenue. It's actually going to take away from the current medical market, because it will have those people who probably step back then, even though I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. Given that the fact that, you know, there's still people, unless you know the product, I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, obviously that'll be happening. And that's all the news caught up for. I only did New South Wales actually, but I'll see what's going on around Australia later as well. But that is actually all the news done for today. So Thailand, we've recapped again, and I'll like I say, I'm going to try and clip this one up this time. I'll put some of that info out there. And what's the next one? It's not Thursday, Friday, no, Friday 6 p.m. There it is. That's what I was waiting for. Friday 6 p.m. I'll be back for another chat, updates, see what's going on, and then there it is, Saturday. Saturday is going to be the chill period, but I've got some. We watched trailers last Saturday, and I did get hit with some copyright strikes for those trailers. So I did learn some stuff, you know, well, as I was doing those. So that's good. But I've edited the video, which you might notice if you watch it now. You'll see it chops here and there, but it's only with the parts where I was told, you know, by the people that claim their copyright strike for it, but they still have. All of them still there at certain levels. It's just that you can't have a full trailer going. I needed to well, you can, but I needed to, you know, be a bit more involved with it rather than enjoy it like I did more. But for Saturday, I've already lined up a bit of a movie night. So, gonna watch and comment on some movies and have a bit of a laugh. Should be fun. Saturday night. Saturday night. It's your night, as you know. Friday night, I'll news and updates again, and have a talk and shit session, I guess. It's a bit cold. My room keeps slipping around. Oh, I actually haven't had my other wake and bake day, have I? So we're gonna have to do that before we go. He's gonna carbohydrate this one too. So we'll have to load it up. And it's full of coffee. Fuck, it's going cold though. It is cold here. Alright. Let's load up a dry pipe. I fucking swallowed a bit. Oh. See if we can get that last little bit. Oh, terrible dry pipe. What am I doing? Tell you what, though, give me a good nog. Oh, let's clear it out. Oh. Alright, folks. Oh, that got me. Oh, fucking dry pipe was terrible. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the updates. If you haven't been to Thailand, that's what you got to do now, but you still got time to get over there and enjoy it how it is by the sound of it. But it sounds like it'll be easy enough anyway once you get there, and I believe it is. People have spoken to, I believe. I'll get a bit more of a solid answer on that, but I believe it's not hard to get access over there easily. Looking at my mic setup too, I believe that's been great. I'll check it afterwards, but I hope so. It's been fun. Enjoy it, people. Thanks to everyone on Patreon and all the people that are subscribed on YouTube. If you haven't already, hit the like, hit subscribe, notify, come over to Patreon, follow us everywhere, whatever. Enjoy it.